Hello Cupcakes, welcome to another new comic book day haul review video with me, your friend Lohit. Summer is here, so we're back. We don't have a massive haul today, but yeah, we've got some good bangers in it. We've got some DC and we've got some Dynamite. So without further ado, Heidi ho, let's go! Alright guys, let's kick off the reviews with Deadman, issue number 2. This is by W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazo, your Ice Cream Man team. And issue 1 was introducing you to the character of the Deadman. This builds upon it. But why I really bought it, of course, the great story and the artwork, but also because this cover is amazing. So this cover is by a gentleman by the name of Alex Ekman Lawn. So I've spoken to him on Instagram once, and his art is sublime, right? Look at this gorgeous cover. So this is basically like bunch of bodies like entwined, making Deadman's face. And I thought that was savage, so the cover popped. It just stood out of me. So I bought this and I passed on a Lucio Perillo cover, who's one of my favorite cover artists. At the same time, I passed on a Mark Spears cover, whose art is like amazing. To get this, because it just stood out to me. Like, it's probably my cover of the week, and yeah, it's an amazing book. So okay, let's jump into the book. So basically we meet the character of Boston Brand in the last issue, and he's given powers by the goddess Ramakrishna to do like soul transitions for people who have died. So if you're dead, then your soul needs to transition into the next phase. Deadman is going to be your guide, and he's going to probably help you transition. So that's his job. And basically what happens is, one time when he's doing this, like somebody dies, and then he's trying to transition his spirit into the next realm. He meets this monster, right? And he doesn't know who that monster is. And the monster basically eats up the soul. And now Deadman is on a quest to figure out like who that monster is, what does he do, where did he come from, etc. Right? And yeah, so that's basically the whole overall plot of the book. And there is a lot of words in this book. Like, it's a very heavy book, like in terms of like the number of words that are thrown in, but they all make sense. It's not like one of those books where it's just verbose to be for the sake of verbosity. But then this one it really works. All these words, they make a lot of sense. So this is the goddess Ramakrishna who basically gives Deadman his powers, and she quotes a little bit of the Bhagavad Gita, and basically the circle of life and death. And what she's telling you here is that there is the world, and there is and you are born, then you live, then you die, and if your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds, then you are given something called as moksha, which is basically nirvana, and you're transitioned to the next realm. Otherwise, you're reborn, and then the circle of life completely continues, right? And that's what it is. So yeah, so again, like I said, it's a word heavy book, right? So be prepared for it. If that's your thing, you'll enjoy it. It's actually, to be fair, when I read it, initially it felt like, okay, my God, there are so many words, I'm not going to get through this. But by the time I was done, I was like, oh, all of this makes so much sense to the story. And yeah, so as I said, so Boston Brand is looking for this soul eater, and what he knows is that there is like a bestiary about all these demonic things, and that's located in a library in Gotham City. So Boston decides to go to Gotham City and to meet, of course, Mr. Batman, and use his detective skills to figure out where this book is. And that's basically the main part of your story. And a lot of other things happen. There's Plastic Man thrown into the mix. What is he doing? Why is he there? Who's that soul eating creature? Like, what is its purpose, etc., etc. All of it is revealed. And yeah, again, W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazo are killing on this title in terms of art and story. I am totally hooked in. I have bought issue. I'm going to invest in, I think it's a 5-issue mini. I'm going to invest in all of these issues because the artwork, the cover, everything is exciting to me about Deadman. But that, my friends, is Deadman issue 2 for you. Check it out. Okay, the next big book from DC is a Vertigo title. This is 100 Bullets, the Us of Anger. The Us here stands for the United States, so it's the United States of Anger. And this is by Brian Azzarello and Ed Risso, who have created one of my favorite graphic novels, which is basically 100 Bullets. And that lasted 100 issues. This is the third book in the 100 Bullet series. So So the second book was basically this 100 Bullets brother Lono. So as you can see, this guy is brother Lono. So Lono is like a brutish character in the 100 Bullets universe. This is his story after the events of 100 Bullets, where he goes to Mexico and takes down a drug cartel. So this is available in like a deluxe hardcover. So you guys want to check it out, then get it. It's not necessary to read this before jumping into this, or to read 100 Bullets, because this is a fresh new story altogether, right? So you don't need to have like that background. Just know that Lono is like an assassin, a mercenary. He's like a brute. He's like a Jack Reacher kind of guy. He's like an anti-hero, like the Punisher, right? He used to kill people before, but now he's only killing like people who deserve it, right? So again, so this is the first issue. It's set in like a very politicalized, violent America. Like, you can see the BLM symbol there, and at the same time, it's violence on the streets everywhere. Could be, they don't tell you which city it is. Could be New York, could be LA, could be something else. But what's going on here is like there's the city is on fire, and these bunch of teenagers, they crash into this jewelry store like to do like a small heist, a mini heist, and out pops in Lono. And what happens is, is a night of like action and violence and curfew and everything. And there are like these two cops who are like on the streets, and the streets are all like in massive rage. And in all this cacophony, all this violence, Lono has a plan, right? He has a plan. And what is his plan? It's not fully revealed, but basically it involves starting a war. Why, for what reason, it's not explained to us, but this is just the first issue, and if you've read anything in 100 Bullets, it'll all make sense by the end. So yeah. So why do you need to buy this? Because if you're a 100 Bullets fan, then definitely get this. If you're an Ed Riso fan, his art style is so unique. These are just his pencils, and I think this black and white format really suits his style of drawing, is amazing. Issue 1, it's pretty action-packed, there's a lot of violence. Be prepared for it. This is like a mature R-rated book. People do die. There are stakes. And yeah, so if you're into 100 Bullets, definitely buy this. Total recommendation from me, 100 Bullets, Anger, issue number 1 by Brian Azzarello and Ed Riso, guys. Okay, let's jump into some other DC books. We've got Poison Ivy, issue number 46. This is by G. Willow Wilson, Leonardo Fernandez, and Arif Prianto. I'll be honest, I just bought this for the cover. So this is a nice swimsuit edition cover by Mahmoud Asrar. Really loved it, man. So yeah, look at the covers. She looks amazing. It's just another book for my Poison Ivy collection. I can't resist like covers with redheads on. So be it like the Red Sonja or Jean Grey or Poison Ivy. So yeah, those are my weaknesses. So probably yeah. But this is a cover by What's Happening. I did read the issue too. So what happens in the issue? What is basically that Pamela Isley, or your Poison Ivy, is now the mayor of Gotham. And what's happening is she is now completely like, she's changed the face of Gotham. Like she's got all her, because she's an eco-terrorist by nature. So she's got all these cops out there, these vigilante, these task forces and all, anti-vigilante task forces and all. And she's running like a tight regime wherein if you commit any sort of crime, like if your dog poops on the road and you don't pick up the poop, then you'll get arrested, right? So, and if your like carbon footprint is high, and then, or your car is like, causing a lot of air pollution and stuff, then you will be arrested. If you cut a tree or harm a plant, you will be arrested. So she's gone a little bit cuckoo and off the rolls, and it's her team, legal team of Juhi and her HR department manager Janet from HR. This whole story is about them trying to find Harley Quinn, so that Harley Quinn can convince, because Harley Quinn is like Poison Ivy's lover and soulmate, so she won't listen to anybody else except for Harley. So it's basically a side quest for these two characters to find out where Harley is and bring Harley to Poison Ivy so she can calm her down and relax from her like evil and cynical ways. So yeah, that's what the whole story is. The book didn't do much for me, to be honest. Like again, they meet a lot of cops and stuff, and there are a lot of political issues going on. They rescue a teenager, etc., etc., etc. But it's just a bridge in the gap. That's because it's not that because the book is bad, but I think this is more of a bridge in the gap kind of a book. where people go on a side quest, and it's not directly dealing with the main story. The main story, there is a event called Bad Seeds that's going to happen in DC. I guess that's what they're building to, where probably Pamela Isley goes completely berserk, and then Batman has to step in and stop her, right? So that's where this is going at the end. But this is Mahmoud Asrar, amazing cover, Poison Ivy, issue number 46 for you guys. Okay, then we have this is Batman Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia by Gabriel Hardman. And this is the final issue of the series. This is a 4-issue limited black label series, right? Wherein your Bruce Wayne, Oliver Queen, and The Question, Vic Sage, they end up on this island where this billionaire guy has imprisoned all these slaves, and they're trying to get them out, right? So it's a very, the artwork is amazing, but the story is like very meh. Like, this is the final issue. There is a big confrontation between the soldiers and, the three main leads. Again, very action-packed, very bombastic, and, but yeah, again, story-wise, I felt it's a little bit flat. I thought they would do more with this. But again, why do I buy this? I buy this for the Gabriel Hardman art, and the action is amazing. It is dynamic. But yeah, do you really need to read it? Like, if you're on a lazy Sunday afternoon, you've not got nothing to do, then I would recommend this book. But again, don't go out your way to buy this. It's just okay. But this is issue number 4 of Batman Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia, guys. All right, next we've got the final issue of one of the best Absolute titles out there. This is Absolute Martian Manhunter issue 12. It's by Javier Rodriguez and Dennis Camp. Yeah, man, this is the final issue of this trippy, surreal, very weird kind of take on Absolute Martian Manhunter. And in this, it's all hell breaking loose. So you've got your main guy, John Jones, who is possessed by 2 entities, right? So he's got he's fighting the he's got the Green Martian inside of him, and he's also got this Despero entity inside of him. And then you've got his wife, and his son is also taken over by all the White Martians. And then they've basically, it's all these entities, like, psychological entities have taken over the world, and John Jones has to fight alongside his Green Martian. He has to fight this Despair character. He has to fight the White Martians and save the day and save his family in the process, right? So how did I feel about the final issue of this? Because I've been praising this book like crazies ever since it came out, right? So again, in all honesty, I just read it once. I did not follow everything, like, how it closes. But it was pretty bombastic and kinetic, like, what happens. There's a lot of surreal portrayal, like there's a lot of dialogue that goes on, like people turn into a sperm, he turns into a Green Martian, turns into a sperm. There's a lot of rebirth in it, yeah, so I don't know how everything gets sorted, but boy, it was a journey, right? And Javier Rodriguez is drawing, like, he's doing like the art of his, he's enjoying it. Like this probably, it reminded me like of a amazing Spider-Man cover I've seen, so I know that this is a homage to that. So the artwork is what works for this book, like that's the main thing. And because there's a final issue, like, there is, you see like characters like Absolute Batman and a couple of other people also as cameos in this book, right? So again, very trippy, like I said, I have to probably reread all the 12 issues to get the full context of it. What I did read, what I did understand is, how everything gets resolved. And that was a satisfactory ending, it's, again, like I said, this is the trippiest thing Dennis Camp has ever written. Like, I thought that Assorted Crisis Events is a little bit trippy, and I didn't understand everything that goes on in that book. But oh my god, this takes it to another level. So again, I enjoyed it, man. I would still recommend it. Like, I have to reread all of these 12 issues to, fully absorb this quietly. But yeah, this is Absolute Martian Manhunter issue number 12, guys. Okay, then for our only Dynamite book, we have Red Sonja issue number 3. This is She-Devil with a Sword. This is by Rory McConnell, and Pablo Di Boni does the artwork. So what has happened in this is like, so there is this kingdom, and this guy is the king, and apparently his kingdom is being taken over by this other force, this terrorist organization called the Rising Sun. and in pops Red Sonja, and these Rising Sun people are looking for this girl. Apparently, her blood can awaken a demon, and so they want to control the demon to take over the kingdom. So she brings the girl to this king, and finally she reaches his kingdom. And yeah, the whole story is about like that what does the king want. I mean, he's got his own problems going on. So, and when he hears the story that she harbors a demon blood, obviously he wants to make use of her. But then again, there is a whole confrontation between Red Sonja and the king, and they make a deal, that he won't use her for nefarious means. And at the same time, the Rising Sun terrorist organization is just outside the castle. So yeah, so there's going to be a lot of action. Yeah, that's the demon that she's supposed to, that's prophesized that her blood is supposed to bring up. So yeah, that's what's going on. Again, like I said, this is one of those bridging the gap type issues. There's not a lot of action. There is some action, where Red Sonja has to do like some gladiatorial combat. The artwork is amazing. The writing is also solid. It's not the best Red Sonja story I've ever read, but yeah, it's pretty fine. It's pretty okay till now. And of course, I bought it for the Mike Ruth cover. This cover is done by Mike Ruth, who's a local artist here, and I support him because you need to support your local artists, guys. Please go ahead and visit your local comic book stores, find out who your local comic book artists are, and try to support them. But anyway, that's the haul for this week, guys. It's a small haul, I know. Next week is going to be a little bit bigger. But I'll see you next time. And then, yeah, please subscribe, like, and we also have like an Instagram channel. Try to go there. Like, we do short form content there. If this long form content is not for you, then there are shorter clips of this show also present over there. Other than that, we post like a daily themed comic book every day. So yeah, if that's your thing, please check it out. And yeah, if you have any questions about these books, please leave a comment, and I'll definitely answer them. But that's it, guys. Catch you in the next one. Take care, and pizzas on me.